And welcome to the David Thompson Show, fighting tyranny one day at a time. It's Monday, April 21st, 2025. I'm glad you can join me. Please give me a break here today. I do have some allergies that I'm kind of fighting. High pollen count here in southwestern Pennsylvania, so my voice is a little raspy, struggling with not coughing as I speak. So we're going to continue and do the best we can here. Thank you. So I got some news from the weekend. First of all, I want to get you up to date on what's happening. The most important information right now is Pope Francis died basically today on the 21st at the age of 88. This is a big deal, friends. He is the leader of the Roman Catholic world. Now, I'm sure a conclave will convene within whatever time they have to convene in and pick another pope. Now, the question is, will he be younger? Will he be conservative? Will he be liberal? We're not sure. These questions are important. It affects a lot of things. As you know or may know, Pope Francis was not a fan of Donald Trump's, and he criticized him quite a bit, especially on immigration issues. So we'll keep you up to date as we go forward. Some other news, demand for oil is falling. The price is falling. This signals to me and to others a recession is heading our way. A lot of this is due to the tariffs. Manufacturing is slowing down. The world trade system is in disarray, and there isn't as much need for oil. And of course, it's now summer coming in. So we'll see how this affects us in the future here. We know that if there is a recession, many believe it'll be this year, towards the end of the year, many analysts, or early in 2025. I personally think we may already be in a recession, the very, very early stages of it. Others feel that way too. Again, only time will tell. Predictions are pretty worthless at this point. Now, the markets today are once again all in the red. This all points directly to Donald Trump and his tariffs. A lot of things are happening here. There's a lot of question marks. Trump's plan to make America great again, bring all the manufacturing back, and take the world by storm and once again be the only leader in the world that people need to listen to. This is all on the table. And I personally think it will fail. I think that most of the world leaders will play along until they don't have to. I've mentioned this in some of my other videos, how they will kind of make deals. It might take a while to physically finalize deals. And at the same time are making deals behind his back because America can no longer be trusted. It's that simple. So if you're a leader of a nation, you're going to wonder how you're going to want to deal with Donald Trump and America. You won't look at us the same again. A lot of people think that's okay. It really isn't. I know it makes you feel good that you're getting over on somebody, but that's sort of not how the world's supposed to work. And we'll see how it pans out in the future. So, as I mentioned, the world is kind of in chaos. The trade system, the world trade system is now kind of evaluating who they're going to trade with, how they're going to trade, what currencies they'll trade in, where they will get their products, who will buy their products. This is really a big deal. Supply chains are being disrupted. It's a very complex system, friends. I know this firsthand. So Trump's tariffs weigh heavily on all of this, of course, trying to redesign the world trade system. But it has thrown the markets into a tizzy. Bond yields are all over the place. The 10-year yield is on the rise, signaling more and more countries are not so comfortable buying U.S. Treasury bonds anymore. And a lot of folks have these. In fact, the biggest holders of treasuries is Japan. They have $1 trillion. China's next. Others are close behind, but the biggest holder is Japan. Now, they're thinking of starting to sell these because Trump has put them in a precarious position. Their supply chains are connected to others basically in Asia, and to others in Europe. So, he's going to force them to make a decision that they may not be able to make without selling treasuries to start getting out from under this. And of course, China's doing this too. Now, keep in mind, nations are already fleeing the dollar. But if China and Japan start selling off treasuries, then more money will come back here, spurring more inflation here, weakening our buying power, and just making things a whole lot worse here for mostly middle-class people and poorer people in the United States. I'll keep you posted. And once again, our incompetent Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, has shared attack details on U.S. operations in Yemen for a second time in his Signal chat conversation. This time he shared it with his wife and brother. Now, I wonder if Donald Trump will blame somebody else for this. If you remember, the first time Pete Hegseth did this, Trump, in his usual form, didn't blame his Secretary of Defense for the incompetency. He blamed the person who received the email from Pete Hegseth, a newspaper and its owner, declaring them incompetent, bankrupt, and many other things. This is the classic Donald Trump all of you, or many of you, want to defend all the time. Somehow, this makes sense. I don't know. And in the meantime, Trump's polls continue to collapse. So where does this leave us with Donald Trump and his MAGA revolution? Well, I read an article, and I wanted to get into this a little bit. First of all, it's from The Guardian. It's from Stephen March. Now, this particular guy is from Canada, Stephen March, and he wrote about his love for America. He toured America during the campaign. He wanted to meet people throughout the United States, all sorts of people, poor people, homeless encampments, and of course, MAGA followers, militia people. He went everywhere he could, and he got a feel for America. And he states this: America was a country of bubbles. I loved it as one loves anything that is both real and fantastical. Donald Trump has blown himself into a bubble of gilded ceilings, Roman murals, sycophants on tap, and midnight rants of imperial conquest on personally owned social media networks. He is only one story, however. America has millions of bubbles. That is a big feeling among the most successful people in America, the sense of being ripped off. Okay, so the sense of being ripped off. And he's talking about people that are rich. He's talking about more wealthy people, that through his interviews, he finds that they believe that they've been ripped off. Does this sound familiar? Your buddy, your neighbor, other MAGA people, is this what you hear from them? We've been ripped off. But he goes on to say this: stopping for gas on the way to a rally. He's talking about a Trump rally. And at the station, they were selling a hot dog with as much chili and cheese as you liked for $1.99. The chili and cheese came out from the wall. You press two buttons, one for chili and one for cheese. Then he goes on to say, on the streets of Dakar, children hawk packs of peanuts and plastic bags of clean water on the street. And I wondered if you could even explain to them that there existed a place on the same earth where chili and liquid cheese came out of the wall, and you could have as much of it as you liked for the equivalent of 20 minutes work at minimum wage, and that some of the people in the place considered themselves so hard done by their resentful fury threatened the political order that they just wanted to burn it all down. So basically, and I've read this article, it's a long article. He's describing how people who have everything compared to the rest of the world, the standard of living never before seen, people that aren't hurting are complaining. They're complaining so much that they want to burn everything down. Is this familiar? We've talked about that here on the David Thompson Show, how Trump just wants to burn it all down. It's a nice house, but there's a crack in the wall. I don't like the crack. Let's burn the house down and start over. Let's just do it that way. And what he came across in America was people wanted to see the government fail. They wanted a new government. They wanted a hostile takeover. And they elected a guy that does just that. Now, there's another article I wanted to read here. And it was following up on what I've been talking about in maybe the last 5 videos. The Gilded Age is back, and that should worry conservatives. Corporate dominance over politics brought power, wealth, and backlash. Now, this particular article was in the Politico. Okay, so I'm going to read this, and I want to qualify this. When I said people want to go back to the Gilded Age, many people who were nice people, good people, and in fact, Stephen March said some of these people he met, even the radicals, treated him well. Now, he said he was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy. Maybe if he was brown-skinned, he might have not have been treated as well. He mentioned that. But he said they were nice. But does that really mean anything when you're dealing with the future of America, with how we treat everybody? Do we really want to go back to an age making America great again where not everybody is actually equally yoked, where we have so many more people poor, living on the fringe of society for whatever reason? Is this what we want? Because you see, you can't have both in an authoritarian world. You can't. There's going to be the winners, and all the rest are going to be the losers, or the public enemy, number one. So this article, at his second inauguration, as President Trump promised to usher America into a new golden age, he was surrounded in the Capitol Rotunda by a handful of tech billionaires whose companies account for roughly 1/5 of the market cap of U.S. public equities. It was a not-so-subtle sign that the second Trump administration was staffed, advised, and led by titans of wealth, which means Trump's golden age looks an awful like a new Gilded Age. The Gilded Age was the era in the late 19th century when business and industry dominated American life as never before or since. It was a period of unprecedented economic growth and technological progress, but also of economic consolidation and growing wealth inequality. Titans of industry enjoyed enormous control over political institutions. Then as now, growing income and wealth inequality opened a rift in American society, with a small group of elites amassing substantial power and influence. In the Gilded Age, industrial magnates like John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie dominated public life. Despite Trump's mass appeal among white working-class voters, and the fact that he performed better with working-class voters of other races than ever before, his coziness with billionaires like Musk and his pursuit of an economic agenda that focuses on tax breaks for the wealthiest Americans both suggest that his presidency would be more of a boom to modern-day tycoons than the average working-class person. As we move forward, we have to worry about what direction our country will end up in 4 years. Now, Donald Trump promised to make America great again. He promised to unite the divide. Of course, this isn't going to happen on either account. We now see that the tycoons, the billionaires, the tech gurus, they're the ones that are going to make out here. Now, many very good people, love him, trust him, put their faith in him, believe that he's doing the right thing, even though everything he does hurts somebody. It does. His tariffs have destroyed many businesses in the United States. His tariffs are making it harder for people to find cheap products. His tariffs are tearing apart other countries as well. He's deporting people. He deported someone that should not have been deported to El Salvador. The federal court said he must bring that person back. They refused, saying it's now El Salvador's problem. El Salvador said it's the Americans' problem. In the meantime, an innocent person was sent away to a horrible prison. This president should be doing everything possible in his power to bring this person home. And it seems like it should be fairly cut and dry, but he won't. But those people, those nice people, those loving people, hand you a sandwich when you need a sandwich, and they'll give you a drink and shake your hand and tell you, I love you, brother. These nice people will stand for a guy who allows this. Not stand for the person who's been hurt. Not stand for the people who are being hurt. Worse yet, not standing for those that can't defend themselves, for those that don't have money, for those that don't have influence or power, for those who will live on the fringes of society. They don't count. As Stephen March said, as he traveled through America, he found the wealthiest people complained. They complained that our country was somehow falling apart around them as they lived in their country clubs and with their limousines and Mercedes-Benz. That thought has filtered into the middle class. That's why so many, 49% of Americans voted for Donald Trump. They too believed that America was on the edge of collapse, that Joe Biden had destroyed America, that any second now we'll be over the cliff. None of that was true. All you have to do is look around. None of that was true. How is it that a guy like me on a video channel like this, a small one, can come here and talk to people and give them facts and figures, and they turn away and say, that's not true? That's not true. What's true is we have to defend ourselves now. We have to be the resistance. Because if we don't do it, who will? If those of us who know it's wrong, who can see it clearly, if we don't raise our voices, if we don't stand, if we don't make a stand, who are we? We're no better than those that are willing to turn their backs on the people that were hurt, who will still support a tyrant, even though openly he has hurt people, he has destroyed people, even though historically he has done the same thing. We have to be the mouthpiece of these people. We have to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. We have to unite. Now the 2028 elections are 2 years away. That's one way to speak. One way to defend people is to vote people out who support a tyrant, who refuse to do the right thing, who want to just hide behind his shadow, and then when something goes wrong, blame somebody else. That's really what's happening in America today. It's somebody else's problem. No, it's our problem, me and you, those who support freedom. And it's time to stand for freedom, because as it said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. How many Americans have fallen for the lies of Donald Trump and still will protect him, even though he openly hurts those that need his help the most, that need protected the most? That's all the time I have. God bless you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Don't forget to go over to our sister channel, Nights Around a Fire. Watch that video with me and Ashley Hamilton. I have a link in the description box here. Other than that, God bless you. I'll see you next time right here on the David Tomsic Show.